What's up, YouTube? It's your boy CM Drake, again, one half of the Wise Guys Sports Talk family. Coming at you with my second video for the 2019 NFL season using, again, DraftKings Millionaire Maker Tournament. For those that don't know or are new to the channel, this channel is a series based off of the DraftKings Millionaire Maker Tournament, which every week DraftKings has a tournament which the first place winner will receive $1 million. It is a $20 entry. You can have multiple entries, but again, if you come in first place, $1 million. So what you see here is week two's results. Not as bad as week one, but still not as good as I would like it to be. So what we did was we did a Dak Prescott build stacked with his number one option receiver, Amari Cooper. We followed that up with Austin Eckler as our number one running back, Derrick Henry number two. Wide receivers, we went Terrell Williams, John Brown. As you can see, all three of my wide receivers did not break 100 yards receiving. If you remember from last week, I mentioned my receivers from week one. None of them broke 100 yards receiving. This is a ongoing issue for my selections, which I need to rectify immediately. My number two wide receiver, my number two running back option, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry and the Titans in general did not have the type of day I thought they would have. Apparently, Indianapolis has some grit in them. Maybe again that chip on their shoulder about the whole Andrew Luck going down, having the Jacoby Brissett being the number one option. Maybe they want to prove to everybody they are still competitive, and they beat Tennessee. I even had Tennessee's defense. I really thought Tennessee was going to have a stellar game against a Indianapolis offense that, to me, isn't as electrifying as some of the other offenses out there. So, but they sure proved me wrong. Would not just shutting down my running back, but also winning the game. As you can see, I also went with a double tight end set, which you can clearly do with your main tight end and a flex player. Those options panned out perfectly, but again, my wide receivers and my running back kind of kept me out of being competitive. In my opinion, to be competitive in daily fantasy, especially on DraftKings, you need to break 200 fantasy points. At 177, I was clearly 53 fantasy points short of the first place winner. And, again, it really comes down to receivers producing, all your skill positions producing, running backs. Quarterbacks, is a little bit of leeway there, but if you stack them, you really want their skill position players to perform. So, again, we're going to have to put this one in the rear view and kind of move on. It's week three. Lots to talk about with week three. So here we are inside of the $20 Millionaire Maker tournament on DraftKings. There you have it, $4.25 million in the pot. First place winner gets the $1 million. Let's see. So for this week, that quarterback position is still pretty well dominated by the top three quarterbacks, which is, again, for the second week in a row, Lamar Jackson, Holmes, as well as Dak Prescott. Now, here's the conundrum. Lamar Jackson and Mahomes play each other, okay? So this is a little interesting, okay, what you're going to do here. Dak Prescott plays the atrocious Miami Dolphins at home in Arlington, Texas. So, man, if you got one shot at this $1 million, you got some choices to make. Now, that's not to discount other quarterbacks like Tom Brady, who's playing a banged up New York Giants team, which is on their third quarterback, their third string quarterback. And they're going against New England at home after mollywhopping Miami last week. So, again, you got some choices to make as far as quarterback for this week. Um, and let's talk about some other things. There are at least three other teams who the number one quarterback is out. I am talking about Pittsburgh. They're going with a backup quarterback. Um, New Orleans. They're going with a backup quarterback. Who else is out? Uh, let's see. Let's see. Pittsburgh, New Orleans. Oh, New York Giants. Okay. Eli Manning is out. The rookie is in New York. So that was if you guys are following the news, sports news, um, Daniel Jones was announced on Tuesday to make his first start, week 3 against Tampa Bay. Okay, so that's just to name a few. I'm pretty sure there are a number of teams out there that have similar predicaments. So this is going to be a challenge when picking that defense. Um, Now I'm gonna do. I have my main defense. I want to go with. I will do a couple honorable mentions for that reason. Okay, so but let's get started with this build. Starting with the quarterback position, which you all know, quarterbacks will make or break your lineup, especially who you stack them with. But I got to go with my gut here. I got to go back to the well. I got to go back with Dak Prescott. Okay. He did well last week. He was number 3 in fantasy points, I believe, when it came to quarterbacks. Again, still just behind Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. But the matchup is unavoidable. You cannot you know, ignore the fact that they're playing Miami at home in Dallas. Okay, so Dak Prescott would be my number one option for quarterback. If I had 2 or 3 lineups going in the Millionaire Maker tournament, I would just go right up the list: Dak, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Okay, that would be my top 3. Um, let's see now for this, the fact that Miami defense is horrible. Okay. They allow you to run and pass at will. Okay. So here's a look at Miami defense. Um, week 1, week 2, Baltimore, they allowed a total of 378 all purpose yards. I'm sorry. They allowed 643 yards allowed in the game. 378 were passing, 265 were running, including, of course, Lamar Jackson scrambling. Week 2 against New England, a total of 381, but still 255 passing and 126 rushing. Okay, you think Dallas can't exceed that? Of course they can. Um, so with Dak Prescott being my number one option, I'm gonna go high here. I'm gonna go high here with another selection with Zeke Elliott. I think Zeke Elliott for the second straight week will go for 100 yards. Rushing, he may even do even more with the passing. He didn't do that much last week, but I think this is the game where he can both shine doing maybe 100 yards rushing, close, if not more than 100 yards receiving. Okay, Miami is giving away yardage. So Zeke Elliott is my number 2 option. Let's drop down to receivers. Now, this is a little tricky because, again, being that Miami gives up a lot of reception yards as well, and the fact that Dallas, they're down one receiver, okay, over the weekend. Gallup caught an injury, and he's going to be out for a few weeks. So you still have Amari Cooper as your number one option. You got Randall Cobb as your number 2 option. Dalvin Smith, number 3 option. Didn't do a whole lot, but for what he got, 3 for 3, he definitely kind of produced in yardage, and he scored a TD. So imagine next week he's clearly going to be the number 3 option um, for Dak Prescott. So this could be more of a budget pick. They're going to have to game plan for Amari Cooper. I think that leaves a lot of space for number 2, number 3 options to get receptions, get yardage, and ultimately score. So for this particular pick, you got to stack them with receivers. I would go at Randall Cobb. Um, at this particular juncture. I mean, you could do more than one. Okay, so Randall Cobb, Dalvin Smith. Randall Cobb and Dalvin Smith. You can do that, and you're probably going to be make out like a bandit if it pans out in your favor because you're going to save a lot of money and salary if you do it that way. Okay, but for now, I would just keep it at Dak, Zeke, and Randall Cobb. Okay. Let's stay in the wide receiver realm and let's keep the price low and possible production high. Let's see. I would have to go with another option here. Okay, for a number of reasons. Okay, got to keep an eye out on the injury report for this one. But Philadelphia, they're banged up at the wide receiver position. Okay, they last week 2 of their wide receivers went down. One of them got upgraded to doubtful with Deshaun Jackson, so that automatically bumps up Aguilar to the number 2 option. Alshon Jeffries also went down in that game with the calf injury. He's questionable. Um, Aguilar was the number 1 option last week with probably the most targets he's received thus far with 11. He did pretty well, went for over 100 yards receiving plus a TD. People, that's what I'm missing. That's what I've been missing the last 2 weeks. So to be able to catch this one kind of early on, obviously, you would not have known this prior to the game starting because those injuries happened in the game. But it just so happened if you had, for whatever reason, budget pick and put Aguilar as a flex or whatever, you made out like a bandit. Okay, so just because we know now Aguilar is possibly or assumably the number 1 option against Detroit next week, Aguilar is a extremely viable option to produce at an extremely low cost. So let's go with Aguilar as a ultimate sleeper for week 3. And then for my number 5 skill position, let's not waste any time. Let's go. We're going right back to the well with the rookie sensation Mark Andrews. Kansas City, they allow a lot of passing yards. This man, for the second week in a row, gone over 100 yards receiving, scored again. He's really productive on that offense. They're going to this guy. So why unless he proves otherwise, we have to go with him. His price is still extremely affordable. So, we just need to make that good combination. Okay, it only takes one time. It only takes one time to guess right. So why not going right back to the well, Mark Andrews as our tight end option. Okay, so let's see what we have so far. All right, we got Dak Prescott against an extremely favorable matchup at home. We did not have that last week, and he still produced. We're going to back him up with the Zeke Elliott, who clearly is getting back to normal workload, which is what we need against a favorable matchup. We're going to stack them with their number 2 option at receiver, assuming Miami has no choice but to game plan for Amari Cooper. Randall Cobb has all of the explosiveness, all of the ability to go to do extremely well. Okay, then we're gonna go out toward Philly, which has a home game against Detroit. Banged up receiver core, but they got Ertz, they got Wentz, they got Aguilar. So we have no, really, we might as well go with Nathan Aguilar as, again, being able to produce, like he did last week under the circumstances. Tight end, Mark Andrews, again, he's, rookie sensation as tight end. He's doing phenomenal so far. And unless he proves otherwise, you might as well get him while he's still affordable. Okay. So those are my 5 skill positions for the defense. Before I get into the actual defense, I will select for week 3 $4.25 million Millionaire Maker tournament. Let's talk about a couple honorable mentions. Okay. Honorable mention number 1 is going to be Dallas Cowboys. Yes, that's right. I am not going to pick the Dallas Cowboys defense against Miami. I may say I'm crazy, because you see what happened last week in New England. All right. But I mean, if it fits your budget, go ahead and do it. If I get some other news between now and then that will kind of swayed me to go with the Cowboys defense, maybe I'll do it. But I'm not going to pick them for the sake of this video. But for you, you just might. More power to you. Second honorable mention, again, for the second week in a row, New England Patriots playing at home against a third string quarterback. Okay. And if you guys haven't looked at that yet, let me show you. New Jersey, QB, Sam Darnold is out. Trevor Siemian is out. Okay, which leaves Luke Falk. He's the starter. Okay, he played last week. He's got a high completion percentage, but he ain't throw the ball enough. Okay, they got beat pretty bad against Cleveland. Okay, he did not score a TD yet. He's probably not going to score a TD against New England away. Okay, but New England still a very good option for defense. Okay, and then if you consider most of the other teams that are going against backup quarterbacks, San Francisco being one of those, Seattle being another defense going against a backup quarterback, those are all pretty viable options. Tampa Bay going against a backup quarterback. That's at least 5 defenses that can make or break your lineup. All very good options for week 3. But for me, drum roll, please. My defense I'm going with for week 3 for the 4.25 Millionaire Maker tournament is Indianapolis. Indianapolis Colts. Okay. They also have a home game. They're playing against Atlanta. Okay. The reason why I'm picking them is, as you can see, they like to put pressure on the quarterback. All right. That's number 1. Number 2 is Matt Ryan, as of this video, leads the league in interceptions. Okay. Let's see if they have his stat here. And INTs. Okay. He leads the league with 5 INTs. Okay, so again, Indianapolis, they're playing at home. Apparently they got some grit to them. They're not going to roll over for anybody. And Matt Ryan needs to throw the ball. You're talking 46, 43 attempts. He's going to leave the ball in the air plenty of times to get picks. Week 1, 2, week 2, 3. So he throws picks multiple times a game. All right. I believe Indianapolis is going to feed off of those. Okay. So my pick for week 3, as far as defenses and an extremely affordable one, favorable matchup, leads the league in interceptions, with Matt Ryan, I have to go with the Indianapolis Colts. Okay, so there you have it with my week 3 picks. Of course, if you like this video, okay, go ahead and hit the like button. If you um, like for me to continue making obviously content, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you can get updates when I do post these videos, which looks like this week I will be on time to post it on a Wednesday. So hopefully a lot of people will be able to get some eyes on this video. So again, CM Drake, Wise Guy Sports Talk, weekly fantasy pick videos for DraftKings. Good luck, everybody. Leave a comment if you like the video as well. I do read comments. I keep the discussion going. If you agree, disagree, so just let me know. Let's start a conversation. Thank you guys, and good luck.